Hello world, and welcome back to Final Fantasy X. I hope I didn't blow anyone's ears off. It's been a few days since my last recording, so I'm trying to get that energy back. Also, I apologize in some of my previous videos. In fact, I'm checking it now for the problem, but basically what happened was I started one video off with my mic muted, and I ended another video with my mic also muted. So I was explaining stuff and nothing got through. I'm a dumbass and I apologize for that. Anyway, so in between videos, I did go ahead and do some grinding. If you go and check out abilities for Yuna and Lulu respectively, Yuna learned her Null Shock, Frost, Tide, Blaze, and a few other stuff like that. She also learned Life, and as you can see here, I did work on teaching her the level 2 black magic skills. For Lulu, basically the same thing. She did not learn Life, but she did learn the level 2 black magic spheres. It took me a little bit, and I had to use the, I think it was the increased counter booster that comes with the game. It took me a while. I did the 4 times speed to help me go through it. It was a pain, but I did what I could. As you can see here, Lulu will come down her path and she'll learn level 2 abilities, but she can also go up and around and come over here so she can learn Life, and I think I'm going to go ahead and teach her Pray, just because it's pretty useful. Now if we go over to Yuna, kind of the same deal. If you go through her normal path and get her to learn Life, she can come down and around and learn these abilities. I think later on she can learn Reflex. I'm not too worried about that. There's also Bio, and I think Demi is right here. And then if we come up here will be the level 3 abilities. And I actually want to keep going a little bit further. Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, by the time Yuna learns Kurega, I'm almost certain we would have gotten a level 3 key sphere. So we can just go up and around and teach Yuna these abilities. And likewise, we'll bring Lulu up and around and teach her Kurega, and I think Regen is right there. So their abilities are kind of intertwined. There's not much more work you have to do to teach them their opposite abilities, but it does take a little bit of time. I didn't really train too much of anyone else. I just kind of swapped them out, mostly focused on Yuna and Lulu, and yeah, here's where we are now. So you can go ahead and, well, to start off the video, I mean, you can go ahead and talk to Shalinda here if you really want to. Again, I don't bother. Or we can talk to Machen here.
Care to hear about the Farplane or the Fireflies?
And I lied again! When we got to the Moonflow, I said that there was someone who was going to tell us about the Fireflies and stuff. It was supposed to be Machen, but it wasn't until this point that he actually tells us about them. He also tells us about the Farplane, which is, like, as part of its name suggests, is a plane of existence where the Fireflies exist, and you can call upon the Fireflies to kind of speak to the dead. You'll see how that works in a little bit, but let's hear the explanation, the proper way.
They may be called fireflies, but they aren't really flies, you see. They're those lights you see whenever a fiend dies. The little fellows are responsible for a few fantastic phenomena. Visions of the past, spheres, fiends, these are all the fireflies doing. In fact, fireflies have something to do with aeons, too. The dreams of the faith reach through the spirit of the summoner. And that which is unreal becomes real for all to see. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
So yeah, there's a few key things to keep in mind about that. For those who are not playing or have not seen or played this game before, follow along as best as you can and keep in mind Dream of the Faith. pyroflies that react to a faith's dream and interpret that to become real through the aid of a summoner. Keep that in mind. That's actually a very important... Machen, don't push me away. Get back here. I need to learn more from you.
Care to hear about the Farplane or the Fireflies? Ahem. The Farplane's the place where fireflies born from ascending gather. They appear in the shape of people who've died and gone to the Farplane. Quite the phenomenon. How I wish I understood it more fully. The Owlbed have a theory, you know. They say the fireflies are just reacting to visitors' thoughts and dreams. But only the dead appear on the Farplane. No image of the living has ever been seen. It's a great mystery, but maybe the dead leave a bit of themselves in the hearts of the living. And that little bit borrows the fireflies' power for their paranormal performance. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say, is that.
So yeah, it's a little bit more interesting. Basically, the pyroflies either react to a person's thoughts and feelings and bring forth a person that has been dead or otherwise, and they recreate that image in a semi-physical form. Or as Machen said, or maybe not, who knows? I think it's just a little bit interesting. In fact, the one thing I love about 10 the most is just the lore behind everything and how things work and all that good stuff, because there's so much mystery, so much fact, so much belief and faith and stuff, and yet there's no actual proof any of this works the way it's supposed to or is suggested. But at the same time, it still works. Honestly, I think this game really fully embodies the idea of, like, you know, mystical belief and stuff like that, and I love it. Fantasy, that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway, if you come up this little hill by this doorway to this mansion, you'll find, I believe it said, a mega potion in this chest. After you do that, come right up here, and I think you can enter here? Yes. Now, I don't remember exactly in which hut there will be an Albed Primer, but there will be one. It's going to be a little more hidden. I believe it's in here. It should be like right around here in front of this chest up here. I forgot for what letter, but I'm almost positive it's right here. I'm only feeling positive about it because it took me forever to find it, and I had no idea it was there originally. Anyway, open this chest and you'll find 3,000 gil. Not too bad, all things considered. If you come over and talk to this guy... Titus, right? I saw you at the tournament. Let's blitz sometime. I think one of these guys gives you something. Oh, they're playing the race card. Now, I don't think they all look the same, but... You know, that Seymour is different. Yeah, I'm kind of skipping through a lot of this stuff, but basically what it boils down to is the Guado and the Ronso are kind of butting heads a lot. And it's a bit of a spoiler, but 10-2 kind of builds up on that, and they actually do attempt to go to war with each other. I only say attempt because, again, spoilers. You get to interfere with that war and stop it before either race causes massive casualties to both sides. Anyway, you come into the shop and you'll find Owaka standing right here.
Oh!
He doesn't really say anything, so let's just see what he has.
Thank you.
Got any weapons? And he has nothing good. Admittedly, some of these weapons would have been pretty nice early on, but they're just not that great. Although Fatal Kate Sith, Now that's not entirely I'm sorry if I'm shouting. I'm trying to find the right volume for my voice. That's not entirely bad for Lulu. Now I say only entirely bad because, yes, it is Death Touch, which means she does have to attack. However, it's Death Touch, meaning there's a good chance if she attacks and the attack connects, the Fiend will die right on the spot, regardless of how much health he has. But again, it's also bad because if it doesn't connect or if it doesn't kill the Fiend outright, it'll only do minimal damage. And at the rate I'll be using that, hypothetically speaking, in order to get Death Touch to even work, I'll probably end up using regular attacks more than magical attacks, and Lulu is focused more towards magical. So I don't necessarily think this would be a good buy for her. It'll be an interesting playthrough with Death Touch, but in my opinion, it's not worth it. Or rather, it's not what I need right now. I will go ahead and buy this Devastator, though. Now, he is selling a bunch of Lightning Ward armors and stuff, and that's actually kind of foreboding for the next area. So, if you have the money, buy everything except for a shield for Titus. We'll get to that soon enough. But it's really not worth the gil either, since Lightning Ward only, like, reduces the damage from lightning-based attacks by half, I think? Or maybe it's a quarter. Anyway, buy it if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it for Riku. And I honestly think that's it. He also has items, so we'll go ahead and check those out. Got anything? Yeah, bite my shiny metal butt. And he only has potions, Phoenix Downs, and all this other stuff, which we don't really need. We'll talk to the Guado, though. This guy has... at least I hope it's a guy, I'm not sure. This Guado does have some better stuff. Not all that much better, though we are going to buy the variable mog for Lulu. We'll put a sensor on it now that we have the ability to. Not going to do that. Not going to do that. I've already got that. And they also sell a Lightning Ward, but we don't need it. I'm gonna go ahead and customize the weapons or the things I just bought real quick. Devastator, we'll put on Sensor. It takes 2 ability spheres, but we can always get those back. And doing that, like I said, changes the shape of the weapon as well as the name. Sensor changes the claw to Hawkeye. Pretty awesome name, if I do say so myself. Ooh. Apparently we have enough smoke bombs. That's Snoke, that's Star Wars. We have enough smoke bombs to create Dark Proof. And that will, 99% of the time, if not all the time, it'll protect against blind status. So, it's not bad, but I'm not going to do it. And we don't have anything else, so I'm not going to be doing that. Put on another sensor. Cactuar scope. Alright. Now that we're all done with that, we'll come out here and go in here. Also, kind of a heads up, I know 13 minutes in, it's a little bit too late of a warning, but this will be a more story-driven episode. I think I'm going to go like past 45 minutes just to make sure I cover everything. And I admit I'm taking a while to explain everything as well, but hopefully whoever's watching this will stick along for the ride as we go through the story and explore this village. Evan's teaching. Yeah, basically the Guado worships Seymour. He is half human and half Guado, and everyone actually respects him for that, which makes sense. It's the first time there's ever been a human Guado hybrid ever, and it's the first real time it can merge the two races together, and they can come together as one unified group, so to speak. So, you know. Yeah, I thought one of these huts had a Guado that would give me something. I thought it was supposed to be like level 2 key spheres and the like, but I don't know. If you want to explore more, go right ahead. Someone somewhere is bound to have something, and I'm just not seeing it. You can also run into the Guado Glory teammates here. They'll tell you their contract, their salary, all that good stuff. And you can't hire them for right now. There might be one Guado here you can hire if you really want to, but he's somewhere around here. Anyway, all we can do at this point is enter this building. And this is where the first, or rather the next part of the story will take place, so bear with me as we go along. I'll skip the parts that you don't need to worry about, and we'll just focus on the story. If you come over here, there's this closed door, and apparently I skipped everything else.
Please.
Sorry about that. What you were supposed to do is come up here, talk to Waka. You can talk to Lulu when she's up here. They'll both tell you more about Guado's, Seymour especially. And then you could go up to the door, but I didn't realize you could skip everything. The only thing you can do right now is go in here. Upstairs is Seymour Guado's bedroom, but you can't go in there. So let's head on in, and it'll lead to a dining room, so to speak.
I will go inform Lord Seymour. Please wait here.
And honestly, this is like the most boring part of the game. There's not much you can do other than, like, you're forced to talk to your entire party, and then the next cutscene triggers. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick.
This is good.
And over here.
What could it be? Oh.
And Kimari.
Kimari not like Mr. Seymour.
I don't know if that's supposed to be a warring race joke, or if that's supposed to be Kimari knowing there's something more to Seymour than what we've been led to believe. Anyway, come over here and talk to Waka.
I get the feeling he called us up here for more than just dinner.
No! Talk to Lulu.
There's no temple here in Guado Salam, see? Summoners usually just pass through on their way elsewhere. What?
I didn't even ask a question and you're explaining things.
You'd rather I say nothing, then?
No. Maybe you finally believe I don't know anything about Spira. And maybe that means you believe me about Xanarkand, too?
Well, there are many things I do not know. Your Xanarkand is one of those things. I suppose I can't say what I think either way. Still, be careful. You shouldn't tell other people.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, it's at this point, I don't know if the entire party is starting to believe Titus, or maybe they believed it all along. But essentially what it boils down to is they don't believe Titus is from their world. They're starting to believe his story, that he is from Xanarkand, but maybe not the same one in Spira. And we'll get more in depth of that, like, development much later, but anyway, a little bit interesting to know, basically. We'll come over here and talk to Orin.
Stay on your guard.
Why? This guy's just a priest, right?
Those with power use that power. Maesters have power.
Wait. You sure you don't have something against Yevon?
I lived a long time in Xanarkand.
Ah.
Kind of a nice looking cutscene coming up, but this is where it gets really boring.
Truly, it is good to have guests again. Since Lord Jiskel passed away, these halls have been too quiet.
The death of Lord Jiskel was a great loss for all of Spira.
Was this Maester Jiskel really such a great guy?
He brought the teachings of Yevon to the Guado. He was truly a great man.
truly a loss for us all. But now, a new leader, Lord Seymour, has come before us. Lord Seymour is the child of a Guado and a human. He will be the tie that binds our two races together. But that is not all, I think. Lord Seymour, he will surely become the shining star that lights the way for all the peoples of Spira.
That is enough, Trummel. Must I always endure such praise? Welcome.
You wanted to see me?
Please, make yourselves at home. There's no rush.
Please keep this short. Yuna must rush.
Pardon me. It has been a long time since I had guests. Lady Yuna, this way. This sphere is a reconstruction created from the thoughts of the dead that wander the far.
Xanarkand?
Correct. Xanarkand, as it looked 1,000 years ago. The great and wondrous Machina city, Xanarkand. She once lived in this metropolis.
She who? Lady Yunalesca!
She was the first person to defeat sin and save the world from its ravages. And you have inherited her name.
It was my father who named me.
Lord Braska was entrusting you with a great task. He wanted you to face sin as Lady Yunalesca did. However, Lady Yunalesca did not save the world alone. To defeat the undefeatable sin, it took an unbreakable bond of love, of the kind that binds two hearts for eternity.
Wow, your face is beet red.
You okay?
Well, he asked me to marry him.
You serious? Hey!
You know what Yuna must do.
Of course. Lady Yuna, no, all summoners are charged with bringing peace to Spira. But this means more than just defeating sin. She must ease the suffering of all Spira. She must be a leader for the people. I proposed to Lady Yuna as a maester of Yevon.
Spira is no playhouse. A moment's diversion may amuse an audience, but it changes nothing.
Even so, the actors must play their parts. There's no need to answer right away. Please, think it over.
We will do so then. We leave.
Lady Yuna, I await your favorable reply. Why are you still here, sir? I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the Farplane.
Just a bit of a side note, I kind of like how Seymour and Auron are kind of polar opposites. Not just like, for the more basic gamer example, red versus blue, Auron wearing red, Seymour wearing blue, but more like Auron knows there's more going on with Seymour, and Seymour now knows Auron is hiding something significant from the rest of the group. In fact, maybe even more than just one significant thing, but multiple significant things. So it's kind of like they're blackmailing each other, and thus keeping each other, like, silenced, so they don't do anything the other might regret. I didn't catch on to that till now, but that's kind of interesting. Anyway, after we're done with that whole thing that wasted, like, more than 10 minutes of recording, we just leave here, and the next bit of story continues after you meet up with your group.
Yuna, the High Summoner's daughter. Seymour, the leader of the Guado. Married in the name of Yevon, overcoming the barriers of race. It would give Spira something cheery to talk about for a change.
Sounds just like a passing daydream, like Auron says.
Come on, let's just get on with the pilgrimage. I mean, marriage?
Jealous?
What? No way. We gotta defeat sin. Romance can wait.
You sure picked a fine time to lay this one on us.
Maybe it is a fine time.
You serious?
If my getting married would help Spira, if it would make people happy, if I could do that for people, maybe I should do what I can. I never imagined doing anything like this, but I won't answer till I know what's right.
Seriously?
You could always just quit your pilgrimage and get married.
I will. Go on. I'm sure that Lord Seymour will understand.
I guess so.
I am a summoner. I must fight and defeat sin.
Like Braska before you.
I had to stop myself from shouting. What's there to think about?
I'm going to the Farplane. I'm going to see my father and think on this.
Go on. We'll be right behind you.
I wondered why none of the others ever asked Yuna. Do you love Seymour? Do you even like him?
To basically answer Titus' question, she doesn't like Seymour. She doesn't love him. No one's asking the question because they know better. They know that it doesn't matter in the long run. She's doing it to make people happy because why not? Anyway, now's our chance to explore the Farplane. Normally this guy would not let you go in, but we will do now. Yeah, that's my answer. Anyway, immediately after you enter, go to the left and you'll find a chest right here containing lightning marble, which is pretty nice for multiple things we can do with it. And I didn't know about this chest until much later on in my life because it's so well hidden. Anyway, just continue following the path and you'll come up to the Farplane.
Question about this Farplane. When somebody dies, a summoner sends them to the Farplane, right? So their souls, or whatever they are, they go to the Farplane, right? But that's the Farplane we're going to, right? And Yuna's old man's there too? Do dead people live there or something?
You thinking those funny thoughts again, yeah? You'll see once we get there.
So just keep going up the stairs after that funny little scene.
Aren't you coming?
I do not belong there.
You're scared.
Searching the past to find the future. This is all that is there. I need it not. You'd better be going.
You're not really going to see the dead. More like your memories of them. People think of their relatives, and the fireflies react to them. They take on the form of the dead person. An illusion, nothing else. Well, have fun.
What? You're not going either, Riku?
I keep my memories inside.
Huh?
Memories are nice, but that's all they are.
Now, I kind of like Riku's line of thinking. Yeah, I mean, this might be on a bit of a touchy subject, but it's like, yeah, it would be nice to see the dead again, to see all your loved ones that have moved on. But at the same time, maybe there's a good point in your life where you don't necessarily have to say goodbye, but more so move on with your life. Leave the dead behind in a good way, knowing that, like, this is a touchy subject, I know, and I don't think I should go on, but it's basically, the dead are dead. They're just memories now. But that doesn't mean you can't move on. That doesn't mean you can't move forward. And that's kind of like a life lesson that stuck with me for a little bit. It's basically, don't worry about who's passed. It's nice to think about them. It's nice to have those memories. It's not a replacement for the real thing. And you've got to find the strength to move on in your own life. There's no going back, but that doesn't mean there's no going forward. All you can do is try your best and keep moving on, as I'm sure your loved ones would want. It might be thinking too much into that message, but that's the gist of what I got from it. Auron, on the other hand, I've got nothing personal to say about his reasoning, because the game might show off a bit of a hint or two in just a few moments. Sorry to take up some time, but I just had to say that. Anyway, come right up the stairs again, and you will start to enter the Farplane. Although the camera angle is a bit weird, I'll admit. Also, a bit of a funnier note. On my version on the PS2, like the original, I think it was 2001 release, because because the CD was a bit scratched up, this scene in particular didn't load right. The massive land that we're standing on right now was not there. The clouds, the pyroflies you're about to see, and everything else was. Anyway, I'll let you guys enjoy the honestly very beautiful view.
The Farplane was cool, but I couldn't stop thinking about Yuna. Her parents, they looked so happy together. But it got me worried that maybe seeing them would make Yuna really consider Seymour's proposal.
Also, during that cutscene, there was this blue ball in midair. To this day, I still don't know what that is or what significance it holds. But it is kind of weird it's not here anymore. Despite the fact that it was, like, right behind Braska and Yuna's mother. A little bit weird to know, I know. Yeah, I was going to say, there's not much you can do, and you can't leave here. Though what you can do is come over here for something significant.
Yo, Chapu! Meant to come see you earlier, yeah? Sorry. I know you won't hold it against me. I gave up that game. I'm a guardian from here on, you know? This guy looks a lot like you. Showed up. Traveling with him, I thought maybe you were still alive somewhere, yeah? But then again, here you are on the Farplane. Guess your place is here. So, how you been? Oh, that guy I just told you about? I gave him your sword. He likes it.
Huh? Whoa.
Two more things to note. I do not see the resemblance between Chapu and Titus whatsoever. Maybe in the eyes, but... okay, maybe a little bit in the build? Anyway, the other thing to note, and Titus kind of showed it off with his sword. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. Brotherhood has powered up. It used to have only plus 5%. Now it's at a total of plus 15%. Which still isn't entirely bad. But it also has Water Strike and Sensor. Both of those are pretty useful in the upcoming area. Unfortunately, only in the upcoming area. So we'll keep that for now. That is pretty nice. But that's pretty much the whole reason for that cutscene. Your sword powers up. Supposedly it's the Pyroflies that do it in reaction to Waka's own feelings and Titus's basically reaction to those feelings, but oh well. Now we'll come over here and talk to Lulu for a little small thing.
He is dead, and I am still alive. Coming here really makes that clear. I should focus more on what I have to do now.
What?
I'm not even sure what I'm saying.
Don't you mean that you should leave Chapu behind? I'm sure he was a great guy, but there'll be others.
That's a possibility.
How about Waka?
What, me? With Waka?
Yeah, you two get along great.
Getting along isn't enough. Not even close.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
You'd do well to remember that. Knowing a bit about women might come in handy someday.
Yeah, I'll remember.
I won't be forgetting either. Goodbye, Chapu. You always said I looked grumpy. But those were the happiest days of my life.
Yeah, it wasn't really that important to talk to her, and in fact, she doesn't add much, and it doesn't make sense in terms of what she did add, for reasons we'll see later, but... okay, I'm gonna give a spoiler. She and Waka get together and tend to, and they have a baby by the end. So basically everything Lulu just said is null and void already. The main thing you want to do now is come over to Yuna and let the cutscene take over.
So, Yuna?
I've decided.
Oh, really? That's good.
I remember when I was only 7 years old in Bavel that day. My father had defeated Sin, and the whole town was out in the streets. Everyone was laughing. They all seemed so happy. If I defeated Sin, that would make everyone happy, wouldn't it? I must do what everyone wants, not just what I want.
Let's go back. You gotta tell Seymour.
Before that, call Sir Jet. Give it a try.
Huh?
Don't worry. He won't come.
Trying not to think about my old man made me think about him, of course.
See, told you.
He isn't here because he's not dead. He's Sin.
That means he's alive, you know.
What if my old man really is Sin? What would I say to Yuna? Heck, to everybody in Spira. Wait, why should I have to apologize for him anyway? I'd rather never see him again.
What makes you hate him so?
Everything he does just makes me mad. It was his fault that me and my mother... Mom? It's her.
She's very pretty.
But... wait. No one ever performed the sending for her.
She must have accepted death while she was still alive.
Whoa there. That's my mother you're talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think I just... figured something out.
What?
Why I hate my old man.
See? So I told him what I thought of him right there.
What, really?
Course.
I suppose, but... Mommy! Just a sec, dear.
Whenever my old man was around, my mother wouldn't even look at me. Maybe that's when I started to resent him, even hate him. When he left us, Mom just lost her energy.
Is she all right?
Why should you care?
If she dies, I wouldn't know what to do.
Don't say Mom is gonna die.
I apologize.
The old lady next door told me, when a lovebird dies, the one left behind, it just gives up living so it can join its mate. It was just like that. I hated my old man even more. But really, my old man...
Mommy! Just a sec, dear.
Go to him. He'll cry if you don't.
Oh, man. I must sound so stupid.
I don't think so.
How embarrassing.
Well, need some more time.
No. I'm ready.
Did I miss something?
Thanks for waiting. I'll go give my answer to Maester Seymour.
Lord Jiskel!
Oh, Lord Jiskel!
He does not belong here.
Why?
Yuna, send him.
Lord Jiskel.
He is Lord Jiskel no more. Send him now.
Talk later. We leave now.
What was that just now? That really Lord Jiskel?
He wasn't sent, so he became a fiend, right?
I would think that he was sent once, but he stayed on Spira. Something, a powerful emotion, could have bound him to this world. Such things happen.
That's against the rules, isn't it?
It means he died an unclean death.
So yeah, we just got hit with the hammer of story and emotions just now. And it would... it's gonna take me a while to deconstruct everything. In fact, it did originally take me a while to deconstruct everything, just to make sure I understood what was happening. We'll explain exactly what happened in case it wasn't entirely clear soon enough. Given the time, and if I can sneak past them, which I can, I'm going to come down here and probably save it. We didn't do a whole lot, there was a whole lot of story, but we'll cut the episode here. So, thank you everybody for watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be sure to see you in the next video for more story unfolding. Bye, world!